This video will be in like a double response. This goes to really the main issue. The main point of this video is to make a comment or remark on this black feminist video that I just saw. And can't remember her name, but I'll type it in the title so people will know who I'm talking about. And this YouTuber talks about why she's a queer black feminist and how she got into feminism. And in the beginning, I didn't really care for the crux of her argument or whatever. I really just the reason why I had to make this response video because the beginning of the video, that's what got me. And it's funny because she talks about this matriarchal household that she was raised in, and how she was, she was seeing, so-called strong women, strong black women leading the household. Her mother was the breadwinner, and then she saw her aunts making power moves or whatever. And then this is what catches me. When she talks about the men in her life, I noticed like her tone dropped. Man, that thing dropped. She was like damn niggas. But she didn't say it like that, but it was like that tone just dropped. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? Like, I thought this is what you wanted. I thought this was the purpose of being a feminist. I thought this is what you wanted. And then it was just funny because like she's talking about her dad. Her dad didn't work. He was a stay-at-home dad, whatever the fuck that means. Stay-at-home dad, didn't work, but by her tone, how she talks, she said that she had a good relationship with him, but it's kind of bleak on how the other male family members were, since they were not leading the households or doing anything that she admired. And she talks about how her dad, and this is so funny because this is connecting to a lot of shit that is just random. And so she was talking about her dad felt some type of way about not being able to lead the household, and he started I forgot what the particulars of it was, but let's just say he felt some type of way about it. And I was like, that's what happens, that's what happens when you have non-patriarchal men looking at other patriarchal men, and they're going to feel jealous about it. The black community is matriarchal, but you do have the remnants of black men who want patriarchy, and they'll be like, it's, and this is why black men aren't just hopping the fence, because they already see a already made patriarchy. That's one reason of it. But when it comes to the jealousy, yes, they're jealous. Black men are jealous of what they're seeing, especially in the Asian community. They're hella jealous. Black men want the respect. We want that, like, that type of look, to where it's like, oh damn, we gotta act right. Oh damn, we can't fuck with them. Oh damn. Oh, they want that respect, especially from other races of men. Because what's stopping a Darren Wilson from killing another black boy? What's stopping another George Zimmerman? What is even stopping George Zimmerman in the first place? Not a damn thing. These, they know that they have the upper hand when it comes to black men, and even with white men who are, even with white or non-black men, at least on the YouTube space, who are talking about interracial dating with black women, they know what's the deal. They know that they can come in there with their white privilege and just say, "Hey, I'm not like them niggas." You know, I live in a good community. I can get our children into a private school. I'm a part of a wealthy family. I come from this. These white men know it. But going back to the this black feminist video, so she's talking about how her dad was feeling some type of way. One thing I didn't agree with that she stated was that she talks about like there was patriarchy in her matriarchal home, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, your dad feeling sexism type of way, feeling some type of way towards you is to your mother is not patriarchy. He cannot contribute. If he gets mad and says, fuck it, I quit, your mother really doesn't lose anything. She will get, even if they divorce, she'll get custody. And so there's really nothing that your father gains from putting his foot down and saying, "Woman, bake my sandwich or I'm leaving." I mean, he's the one staying in your mother's crib, so I mean, like, he's not, he doesn't have options. So she talks about like this patriarchy. In her matriarchal home, it's like your dad has no power. What are you talking about? That is the results or the remnants of a rogue male feeling some type of way, wanting to be a part of the patriarchal system, wanting, he's probably even with, he might even be looking at patriarchal black couples, black patriarchal couples. He's seeing maybe like basketball players just being like, yeah, look what I made my bitch do. Yeah, she twerking. Like you look at Floyd Merriweather, not the smartest guy in the book, but I'm like, he is patriarchal as fuck to where he can bring like $2 million into a freaking hotel in cash, and you seeing like 10 bitches twerking their ass off. Yeah, he's making it. I mean, that shit that makes like broke men or non-patriarchal men feel some type of way. They were like, and even being a stay-at-home black father, that's not anything impressive. Granted, the white community can have stay-at-home white fathers because white men have privilege. He might have some old money, and they're already in a decent neighborhood, so they don't have like anything to gain. They can get to a better neighborhood, but it's the same results. But black families don't have that because they're already in the fucked up state that they're in, and they do not have a patriarchy, so they don't have to be like, fuck it, I'm not gonna do this anymore, and still get the rewards of a patriarchy. And there was another point. Oh, she talks about the sexism with her dad, about her virginity, and how it's she was talking about how it's messed up that fathers are um, more conservative to their daughter's virginity versus their liberal stance on their son's virginity. And the reason why it is because if a boy gets a girl pregnant, I mean, most likely he's gonna get kicked out of the house. And to be honest with you, if he ain't doing shit, most likely he'll be forced to do something. So it's like, even though it's not like a muhaha evil trick thing, it's more of you swim at your own risk. Use common sense. It's really not like a license to kill that a lot of girls think, So it's not like what women think. You know, because like if he gets some girl pregnant, you think your dad's gonna be like, oh, you know, go to his wife. I was about to say go to him, but I forgot he didn't have any money. But you think you think his dad is going to support a child? I was going to say his roof. I'm so used to patriarchy. Oh my god, my bad. But the thing is, it'll just be an awkward mess. Like you have a young black boy with a son, and in a matriarchal household where your dad doesn't work, your mom's the main source of income, it's just gonna get messy. And but the reason why fathers are more uptight about their daughter is because it's really not because of the so-called sexism. Like, truth be told, a lot of dudes aren't even happy with, a lot of dudes, they're not impressed with today's generation of boys, well, younger generation. They're not impressed. If that was the case, man, fathers wouldn't even be mad at niggas sneaking out with their daughter. If that was the case, how many? I mean, when I was in Georgia, boy, you want to know how common it was to find young black boys shot dead by the father for sneaking in their house to see their daughter. There was one case that went national, that went viral, national. And I'm like, damn, that's like the second or third time this year. These black fathers, they're not impressed with these boys. If that was the case, these fathers wouldn't even be flinching to see their daughter, to hear their daughter getting a train ran on them. Shit. It's really the other way around. It's like black boys really have the ones to be fearful, or less to gain from their father's liberalness or whatever. You think black fathers are going to be like, oh, I'm going to take care of it. I got you. I got you. You think these black fathers are going to be like they're like these black grandmoms in the hood, just taking care of the kid? Well, like here, Dad, take care of it. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. You think these black fathers are going to be treated like the grandmas of the hood? Please. Please. No, they're not. They're not. So, and even with me, I'm not even impressed with this generation, or the younger generation of black boys. I'm not impressed with these kids who are like 13, who are like 16 and younger. I'm not impressed. Granted, I don't have a daughter now, so they won't be dating them. But I'm just saying, like, whenever those 15 or 16-year-old boys will most likely be like the fathers of the kids, the fathers or grandchildren of the kids that I may have. So, I have to look at the shit that they're on. And, I will say that I really do feel like black men mature faster, but the issue is just that we have to be put up in a fucked up situation. And, that's where we tend to learn or understand the mistakes that we made. But we really, the black community does need a patriarchy, and it's not easy. And this whole, liberalness of the black community is just not working. And I'll do this YouTuber a favor because she wanted me to get on the deadbeat fathers and niggas who ain't there. And yeah, that does go on. But I feel like it's just a dead horse. We already know about niggas on child support, and dudes ain't trying to take care of the kids. Dudes with like 15 kids or whatever. I'm like, that's been like tackled and shit. Like, nobody's really that damn interested in it. That's like stuff that Maury like exposed for like years, man. I'm like a Maury veteran. I've been watching Maury since 2000 freaking 8. No, 2010. So I basically seen like about, I basically seen about like what 500 episodes. So it's like a dead horse. But I will add to this. Though, that we don't see a lot of, at least in the physical realm, presence of the black community. We don't see a lot of patriarchal men. I tend to see a lot of these passive aggressive black men who want to, task black boys into to being moralistic, like, okay, be a good black boy, be a good black man, take care of your kids, and then we have black girls get the complete opposite, to where it's like, and you tried and you work on being a doctor, and you inspired to be a technician, and you break barriers and stuff, and it's like, black boys, we get this kind of like dumb shit, like, don't go to jail. I see that with some of these black leadership camps that black men do. When it comes to fatherlessness, it does piss you off, because it's like, damn, you don't want to date a girl who doesn't have a good relationship with her dad. Like, what, you just don't want. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just not something that is cute. Like, you don't want that rebellious chick that's used to doing whatever the fuck she want because her grandma let her or whatever. I just don't find that shit appealing, at least to me. What is another thing that black fathers aren't doing? Well, I can state that I don't see a lot of black businesses or um, businesses for black boys. I think a lot of black boys could be saved if they had somewhere to go after high school. Like, I remember when I was in high school, you know, I didn't know where to go. I was told by my black teachers, oh, you're gonna automatically make it. And during the years after high school, I was struggling to to find some decent employment, and I was shocked because I'm like, I was a kid that was like 26 to 25 of his class, was in all these programs, did and then a college prep program for 2 years, and I was like, damn, like, I did all this shit, all this. I can throw my awards in people's faces, like, oh, I was in this program, I did this. I didn't even miss school that much. Single digits absences. I'm like, damn. I'm like, despite all this, I ain't get nowhere. And I don't know how many people can relate to that. But, after I look back to, a lot of these black school systems, I don't see a lot of black men really trying to take black boys into their wing. I don't see, a lot of, learning trade and shit. And okay, I'll get on this with what some of these black fathers and to the person that wanted me to get on fatherlessness, I'll be honest. I really could. I was thinking for like 30 minutes. I really can't even think of anything based off of fatherlessness or niggas not paying child support or whatever. I can't relate because I have a father in my life, and um despite seeing what other people go through, I just can't relate. But I will say, in the outside lens of looking into the black community, looking at how black fathers are seen. Granted, I went to a public school, And yeah, I did see black boys become fathers, and seeing them being hit with early responsibility, and like niggas be fathers before they have their driving license, niggas be fathers before having a diploma. And I was just like, damn, I'm not really convinced to be like those dudes. I'm not trying to be tied down. Shit. I will say, when it comes to black men in the black community, at least from where I was in Augusta, Georgia, I wasn't impressed. There weren't black men trying to do shit to teach boys anything. At best you'll just see old niggas being pastors and talking about church, and I'm like, what does that do? Like at best the church would at least offer like volunteer services for like people who have been court ordered to do so. But even when it comes to like shit that niggas need, like, hey, we need niggas to learn how to paint. I mean, not paint. Yeah, even paint, or do some carpentry, or put some floors together, or just put make shit. These niggas weren't anywhere in sight, and even though I wasn't in the midst of the middle of the black community, there's a reason I left. And I was, I just left. I just left that shitty city, that shitty state, because I just got tired of it. The black, like where I was, the black community was disappearing. It was like literally turning to a ghost town. And I was reading articles because I still have the Augusta news news stations as a like on my Facebook, and so I keep up with it. I was learning that these niggas lost their Krogers, they lost their Kmart. They ain't got the elderly has nowhere to go for groceries. They can't afford Whole Food. They ain't about to wait on the bus for like 2 to 3 hours just to get some groceries. And I mean, it was a sad state, man. I remember, man, seeing the old ladies on the bus. They have like, how those walkers are where they have the cart and you can put your food in it. I'm seeing like, I've seen elderly ladies just struggling to get like 3 bags. Like, I ain't talking about this small bag. I'm talking about like 3 hefty bags max. Max. And struggling to lift it. I mean, it'd be like 3 minutes for them to get on the bus, find their money, find a place to sit. Everybody's all jumbled up, like, oh shit, let's put your stuff right here. Okay, you sit over there. I'll stand up. I'll watch over. Like, damn, it's a mess. And you don't see a lot of black men. See, that's what I'm going to talk about. I don't know about father listeners, but I'm just going to talk about what I don't see black men doing in the black community. That's easy. I can relate to that. Like I was saying, I don't see a lot of the action. It mind boggles me when I see a lot of black women and elderly young kind of be in a fucking fucked up state. I remember I was like, this was years ago in the summer, and I'm looking at, I see this pregnant young girl, and she got her teeth pulled, and she was just waiting in the hot sun for the bus, and then she gets on the bus, and I'm like, who authorized to get your teeth pulled while you're pregnant? I mean, that's crazy. And it was one thing that pissed me off was that when you get your teeth pulled, you have to have a companion. That's by law. Because the shit they do to numb it it makes you go to sleep and you're drowsy, you can't focus. And she just adding the pain that she's pregnant. I'm like, I'm mind blown seeing this shit of like, damn, this girl's pregnant, and how the fuck is she like in the hot sun alone? Like, I didn't even see no niggas from the clinic at least stand by her so until she gets on the bus. I'm like, damn, like how are you like stand? How are you here? It made no sense. I'm like, it's like, damn, like, what was your nigga doing? What was your baby daddy doing? Like how did men keep failing? Because it's like, okay, like, like, okay, one, her father messed up because to me, I mean, for a nigga to even do that, to just like even let her girl or woman get her teeth pulled, and it's like the hot sun, summer. Fuck all the feminist response of, oh, you think we're weak and we're not that dainty. I'm like, fuck it. You try being pregnant in the hot sun, the hot Georgia sun, waiting on a bus that comes every 45 minutes in like 98-degree weather. You try that, and with your teeth pulled. That shit pissed me off. That was like one of the things that pissed me off when I saw dudes, man. I probably say another thing that pisses me off about the black community. No sense of protection for black girls. I can recall the times where shit, girls be harassed by these old drunk dudes. Nobody says shit. Nobody does shit. Yeah, and it just kind of like this. It really just pisses me off, man. But I'm just so done with that black community in Augusta, man. I was just so fucking done. I didn't have any hope. I didn't have any hope for that shit. People just watching this shit disappear. Their neighborhoods and But what pisses me off more is that you have black men demanding intrinsic respect out of like thin air, and they have nothing to show for it. They have nothing to prove that they're worth acknowledging. And I don't even, to be honest with you, I really don't think a lot of black men even care about patriarchy. I think they just want like individual patriarchal rewards. But I'll even say, even in this community where I'm at now, even where I live mostly by Africans, these dudes, I don't see, they may be patriarchal, they may be leading their homes, but, they can't move an inch without, white Jesus. That's another thing with these black men, and, they can't let go of Jesus for shit. And, of course, niggas ain't gonna make moves without Jesus or without the church approval. And I see some of these African niggas, man, do the most in these black churches, man. And at least in their African churches, I seen them do the most. Pisses me off, to be honest. Another thing, yeah, and another thing, the conscious community, niggas in the conscious community. A lot of these dudes, are just talk. I'm looking at niggas react about the missing girls from DC. Oh, and these niggas and these crackers, they're kidnapping our daughters. And y'all niggas need to stand up. Stand up for the black woman. Stand up for the black girls. We need y'all. We need y'all in the streets. Y'all ain't shit, niggas. It's like, okay, all these power talk niggas talking like DMX and shit. I'm like, okay, like, what are you doing? I'm like, you expect niggas just to rise up, do shit, And yes, it should be innate. I can't disagree with that. It should be innate for black men to protect black women. But the issue is that it's not patriarchy because we don't live in a patriarchy. The issue is with black men is that black men really don't give a shit. They're just worrying about the nut. They're just selfish. They're not really, you know, they just have some issues. I mean, could be mommy issues, dating issues, but really, and all in all, like a lot of these niggas don't give a fuck. They can give less than a fuck. Um, but even with black men, especially in the conscious community, who always want to talk about fighting white folks and putting crackers to sleep or whatever, you know, um, they're not making any power moves, man. They're not doing anything, and they've been called out many times. And when those feds and those conscious people got linked up with Black Lives Matter, boy, and those feds were clocking on them. Niggas folded. Them niggas folded real quick. Them niggas folded. So it's a lot of cheese talk, but I hope this video proved. I hope this video talked about what needed to be talked about. That girl wanted me to talk about. Like I said, it's a little difficult for me to talk about fatherlessness because I haven't really experienced it because my father's really been there for most of my life. So, but I can talk about what black men in general aren't doing. And so, I'm not seeing, black male leadership. I'm not seeing black men really, take control of their community. And so, we'll get black men who will do something temporarily, but it's not going to last.